Hello, Phil Cross here. I'm just having a little sit in the Arena de Nimes, the Colosseum. There's been a couple of films of me in here. What I'm going to talk about is the Queen. The Queen was obviously. Me being the age I am, she was in my life, from as far back as I can remember. As far as I can remember, there was a Queen. She's always been there. Very much a royalist in that point of view. I spent most of my working life, except for maybe 3 or 4 years when I worked with my uncle. I spent most of my working life in service of the Queen and her people, so it was in the military to begin with, and then the police, the Metropolitan Police. So almost the entirety of my working life has been in service to the Queen. I'd retired before she died. I was in France, funny enough, the day she died, on a bike trip, which was cut short due to injury to one of us, but yeah, it was quite a thing to be out of the country and hear the news that the Queen had finally succumbed, and it was it's very sad. She's me like most people alive. Most people alive in England. There's not very many that knew the country before her. Not many that are still alive that can say that. But yeah, service to the Queen. Very much a royalist. King Charles. I have to say, there's people may have their own views on him. But for me, I really like the guy. King Charles, whatever. If you're watching, I really like the guy. I think he's trying to, albeit that he's an older man, he's trying to bring the monarchy into a better position for the future. And I think that all that he started, he will sort of pass it on to William, and William will steer it in that direction, the right direction it's going. I like Charles. I like the way he acts around people. I remember, I'm not going to say I met him because he basically sort of flitted past me going into a church. There's a church along Piccadilly, a little church off to the side that sometimes has a little Christmas market in it, and there was some sort of an event going on inside the church, and I was in uniform at the time at West End Central, and I was basically on the door waiting for his arrival, and he walked past me to go into the door. So that's my claim to fame. But I always remember that there was very little in the way of police activity around him, and I remember in later years getting to know people that were in diplomatic protection and the like, and the royalty protection, and he was very much opposed to having that close sort of police presence around him. He's been very kind of, for want of a better word, open around his life, if you like, and there was a programme that was done about him, still while he was the Prince of Wales, where he basically took over some land up north somewhere. I can't think where it was, but he basically was trying to rebuild this place into the place it used to be, and within its grounds there were opportunities to start up like a craft type educational facility, so teaching people to be thatchers and wood carvers and all the kind of thing that lost trades, if you like. And one of the things that struck me struck me about it was there was a scene where he was out walking. I'm sure he had a dog with him, maybe two, and he was walking towards what looked like a footbridge, and there was an old boy coming the other way, and there wasn't anybody around him other than obviously the camera crew, however big that might have been. But you know, he just stopped and spoke to this old boy, and it was just you know, he comes across very much a man of his people, you know, because we're his people, and I think he's a breath of fresh air. Not that the Queen wasn't. The Queen was the Queen. She was very staunch around her public duty and the duties she had to the people and what have you. But Charles is a little bit more fluid, shall we say, and you know, I really like that. I like that. I respect it, and I think that William will carry that on. I'm not sure that we'll see somebody as the head of state for as long as the Queen, for a little while. You know, obviously Charles is an older man. William's a lot older than his grandmother was when she took the throne. So you know, at the time that he takes the throne, he'll be a lot older. So you know, that longevity it's going to be a little while before it's we're going to see the same kind of thing again. I mean, it may even be a point that it's maybe one of George's kids. Who knows? But yeah, it's going to be a while before the record that the Queen made in relation to being the monarch is broken, I think. But I think Charles is sort of pointing the royal family in the right direction, very much so. Harry, not that we're ever going to meet, but what the fuck are you doing, mate? You know, seriously, you had pretty much all of the British public was batting for you. You know, all of the stuff. You know, the stuff that William wasn't allowed to do because William is the next in line, and that's understandable. But what you were willing to do and did do was, you know, you had palm of your hand, you know, and then you go and fuck it up and become some sort of a fucking Hollywood diva that it's all about the money with you now. And I've got my views on what happened. You know, we've all seen the programmes when you was getting together, and let me tell you, mate, if you believe for 1 minute that she never knew who you were, fuck off. There's no way she didn't know who you were. Well, I met this guy and I had to Google him. Fuck off. You know, probably in the top 7 fucking most famous faces around the planet. What the fuck? So yeah, I don't understand where we've got this this sort of Hollywood attitude. It's all about the money. It's all about how much money you can make. Let's make another programme for Netflix. Let's get me Bird on, make another programme for Netflix, and yeah. I'm not entirely sure you're in the royal family enough for that to be any sort of fucking words of treason from me, but if it is, so be it. But yeah, William, you know, I'm looking forward. Hopefully, I'll still be around to see that he's actually continuing in his father's work. And King Charles, thanks. You know, you've changed the royal family, but you've not taken away from what the Queen was, which is perfect. Yeah. That's me. I think I'm going to fuck off from this here Colosseum type place and go and get myself a starter somewhere and a cold drink. See you later.